After 2020 being relatively pretty mid for anime, not to say that there weren't any good shows, the first season of 2021, that is 2021, has more than made up for the entire previous year. From Attack on Titan to Horimiya to Skate the Infinity. Okay, I'm sorry for that joke. But the current season is a fully stacked banger. But we aren't going to talk about the current season in this video. No, that video is going to come out later after I actually catch up with most of the anime this season. I mean, god, there is just so much stuff to watch. Anyway, enough about the current season. Today we're going to actually talk about the next season, spring 2021. Now honestly, the season isn't looking all that bad either. We got tons of shows including some very good looking sequels and some pretty exciting new shows. Well, in this video we're going to talk about the only shows that I personally think you and I should be watching this season. Again, emphasis on the word personally, because it doesn't mean that I'm shitting on the shows that I don't actually show in this video or I think that you should not watch. Man, watch whatever you want to or feel you would entertain you. Come on, you aren't going to watch Thunderbolt Fantasy Tori Ken Yuki 3. Like, come on, look at the title. Anyway, all I mean is that this video is entirely my own personal opinion, and so don't take it too serious, but I think I pretty much cover all the stuff you need to watch and will enjoy if you do so. Also, there will not be any spoilers, so watch this video without any worries that you might get spoiled. So let's start with this. First off, we're going to talk about the sequels which are coming out this season. This actually entirely depends on if you have seen the previous season and if you enjoyed them. You all still have like a couple of weeks to catch up on them. So the first sequel we're going to talk about is of course probably the biggest and most talked about anime of the upcoming season, My Hero Academia Season 5. Hero Acca fans are really excited for this season for some reason which I cannot understand. They have been telling everyone who haven't seen it or didn't like it that it gets better than the manga is really exciting and that it has at its peak currently or something like that. We really don't believe or care about the Hero Acca fandom like that, and I think neither should you. I really don't think I should be saying this considering the current state of the fandom of my currently favorite anime. Previous season of Hero Acca adapted a overhaul remedial course cultural and pro hero arcs, and I think it's going to adapt the joint training arc, the Metal Liberation Army arc, and the Endeavor Agency arc in the next season. The Metal Liberation Army arc goes into the various work studies of our heroes, which is pretty neat if you ask me. The Evolution arcs actually features some pretty prominent returns as well as a lot of the revelations surrounding the mysteries of the Great One Above All. Sorry, the One for All, not the One Above All. Personally, don't think that it should even touch on the currently ongoing Paranormal Liberation War arc, which according to some fans is probably the best thing yet. Season 5 already has more than enough content and they should leave the huge and dense and possibly their best arc for a potential Season 6. So, should you watch it? I don't think you should even be asking this question if you actually enjoyed and seen like till the latest season, that is Season 4. But if you are someone who has seen only like a couple of seasons and didn't enjoy it all that much and thinking if you should binge catch up till this season to enjoy it, nah, not worth it. I personally am not the biggest fan of Hero Acca, especially the anime. I have only seen the first 2 seasons of the anime and read a bit of the manga after that, but Hero Acca has always been the anime which I think is just fine. Like the definition of a 6 out of 10 anime. It's not the greatest thing ever, but again on the other hand, I don't think it's mid or even bad. It's just fine. So I won't be catching up to the upcoming season, and I think you should watch it only if you are like completely caught up till Season 4. Do have heard good things about it, but I am hesitant to believe them cause again you can hear good things about almost the entirety of the anime, and we know how that turned out. Next, welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. This is one of those animes which I actually think is pretty good after watching like 3 episodes of it, but later just completely ignore it for some reason. Well, if you don't know about this anime, here's a synopsis. Suzuki Iruma, human and deeply non-aggressive, one day becomes the grandson of the great demon Sullivan. Doted on beyond belief, Iruma starts school where Grandpa serves as the chair and finds to his surprise that he enjoys life there with Osmodius, Clara and the rest of his demon classmates. But just when Iruma thought he would fit in, there's more trouble ahead. A ring begins to talk and Iruma goes bad. Iruma's chaotic demonic life at school continues. I think if you didn't watch the previous season, you should give it a try. You might actually enjoy it. We also have a really similar looking anime called How Not to Summon a Demon Lord Omega. Man, what is up with this? Animes using mathematical symbols in the title. Well, this is an anime of which I actually have seen the previous season of, but it's one of the most generic looking isekai ever, with your usual maids and lollies and the main character being some demon lord, cause of course it is. I don't think I'll be watching the latest season, and I think neither should you, because man, it's really generic. Now let's talk about the sequels that I'm actually really excited for. As being a really big Sherlockian, I wasn't expecting Moriarty the Patriot to be this good. Really enjoyed the first season of this show, which is told from the perspective of Sherlock's arch nemesis, and I'm really excited for the upcoming season, which is actually looking pretty freaking good. Zombieland Saga was such a killer, basically like every other anime Mappa animes. For real, those guys, have been killing it since the last couple of years, and they honestly are also getting every big thing. Like after JuJutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan, they're animating freaking fucking Chainsaw Man? That's huge. Well, if you don't know about Zombieland Saga, it's basically how a group of girls become zombie idols to save an entire prefecture in Japan. Sounds good? Definitely give it a try because it's freaking amazing. Megalobox is back after an amazing first season, which they intentionally made it to look old, which I really liked about it. The trailer of the new season is out and it looks extremely good, as it's set 7 years after the ending of the first season, where our fearless Joe is now fighting in the undergrounds and looking like a badass while doing it. Give it a try if you haven't already. No matter if you enjoy sports anime or not, you'll definitely enjoy this one. Now, the anime I'm actually looking forward to the most is definitely Fruits Basket final season. As someone who really likes to watch stuff that makes me cry, Fruits Basket has been an absolute treat. For some reason I was putting this off, but after I actually binged the entire 2 seasons of it like a couple of months ago, I realized why people like it so much. It's because it's just that good. The trailer definitely looks like it's going to destroy you, so guys, all I'm saying is be prepared. Before going to the new shows, there is also a spin-off to Tensura this season titled The Slime Diaries. The synopsis states, "Dear Diary, I got reincarnated as a slime. Even in another world, lives aren't always on the line. There's plenty of work to be done, from feeding the community and forging the items the community needs, as well as plenty of play and hijinks throughout. Join Rimuru and friends as they kick back and enjoy their daily lives." So it's like a slice of life spin-off to The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is possibly one of the best isekais like ever. Don't know if it's only because the latest season is adapting the best arc from the manga or something, but season 2 of Tensura just took it from being like a 7 to a 9, so I'm definitely watching it. Most talked about show which is not a sequel or a spin-off this season is Nagatoro-san, cause of course it is. Just look at the freaking poster of the show. Nagatoro is a freshman in high school who loves teasing and torturing her older male classmates. What's her motivation and why does Senpai put up with her? Does Nagatoro just want to create misery for Senpai, or maybe because she secretly likes it? Okay, so on Twitter, this anime got a lot of shit because it has a dark-skinned lolly messing or teasing a guy, which they actually thought of as bullying, and that this show promotes bullying, which as someone who has read the manga can absolutely confirm as being false. She teases her senpai, who apparently of course is a masochist who enjoys it, and also the only times what she did can actually be considered as bullying. The manga makes pretty clear about how it's something which should not be done because Nagatoro herself feels guilty about it. Anyway, no one really cares about Twitter bitching about it. In other words, this show is really cute and wholesome, and if you like that kind of high school romance slice of lives, you'll enjoy it. Continuing on the high school trope, let's talk about Your Lie in January. I mean, Snow White Notes. Like dude, the first part of is literally Kosei Arima's backstory with grandfather instead of mother. When Setsu's grandfather died, so did Setsu's sound. His unique creative spark. Grieving, he goes to Tokyo to find himself, but manages to become totally literally lost on his first day. Only a chance meeting with Yuna aka Yuka, the hostess, saves him from being robbed. At first glance, their lives seem totally different, but they are both striving for their dreams. Hers, of course, being an actress, and his, of developing his talent with the shamisen, could just be that life in the raucous, unfeeling urban sprawl of Tokyo could just be what binds their fates together. It sounds pretty decent to me, and as someone who has seen like almost every music anime ever, I'm willing to give it a go. And I think you should too. Like watch 3 episodes. If you don't like it, then just don't watch Uzumaki. Rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose. The story centers around Suiharu Maru, an average 17-year-old high school boy who has never had a girlfriend, and the heroine battle between his beautiful first crush Shirokusa Kachi and his childhood friend Kurohoshida. The title is probably the biggest reason why I will be watching this. Well, as they say that if you watch like 3 harem animes, we've basically seen all of them. Because we know the childhood friend always loses. Is the title just a sarcastic play on that, or will Kuroho actually avenge all childhood friends? We'll find out. On his starry night, middle schooler Manta meets Yo Asukara, a young shaman who has the ability to talk to spirits and also has the ability to let them possess him to use their powers. Yo has a heavy duty on his shoulders. He must become the shaman king by winning the shaman fight, tournament between shamans that happens only once every 500 years. Joined by his spirit medium fiance Anna Kyoyama, his personal samurai spirit Amida Maru, and his other friends, Yo must also face a larger villain, Hao, a powerful man who aims to create a new world with only shamans by becoming the shaman king himself. Tell me that doesn't sound freaking cool. Yes, I do know that it sounds similar to a lot of the shonen anime currently, but this one is an original. It did have another anime adaptation which wasn't all that faithful to the amazing manga, but this one, they have literally said that it will be adapting everything from the manga. Guys, please give this a try. It's really amazing, and the animation looks amazing as well. And as a manga reader, I confirm it will be completely worth your time. Eden Zero. What the? Why is there a happy knockoff in the poster? Oh, it's by the same writer as Fairy Tail. Okay, let's read the synopsis. At Granville Kingdom, an abandoned amusement park, Shiki has lived his entire life among machines. But one day, Rebecca and her cat companion Happy appeared at the park's front gates. Still do these newcomers know that this is the first human contact Granville has had in 100 years. As Shiki stumbles his way into making new friends, his former neighbors stare at an opportunity for a robo-rebellion. And when his old homeland becomes too dangerous, Shiki must join Rebecca and Happy on their spaceship and escape into the boundless cosmos cosmos. Okay, so you aren't even going to try to hide the fact that it is a fairy tale in space? Like Jesus Christ, you literally put the exact same character. Or maybe it's set in the same universe or something, I don't know, because I don't like fairy tale, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like this either. But if you do, then you should check this out because it's the exact same thing apparently. There's a lot of hype behind Tokyo Revengers, and it's a really beloved manga, and the synopsis actually seems pretty good. Takemichi Hanagaki's life is at an all-time low. Just when he thought it couldn't get worse, he finds out that Hinata Tachibana, his ex-girlfriend, was murdered by the Tokyo Manji gang, a group of vicious criminals that have been disturbing society's peace for quite some time. Wondering where it all went wrong, Takemichi suddenly finds himself traveling through time, ending up 12 years in the past when he was still in a relationship with Hinata. Realizing he had a chance to save her, Takemichi resolves to infiltrate the Tokyo Manji gang and climb the ranks in order to rewrite the future and save Hinata from a tragic fate. Haha, it does sound similar to something else. Just hope that it doesn't end up having the same bad ending as that. Like, someone actually erased a lot, at least the first 10 episodes of it. I hope Tokyo Revengers, which of course is a similar plot to Erase, doesn't end up ruining itself just because of its ending. And as a huge sci-fi fan, I'm definitely watching it. From the visionary mangaka behind the silent voice, we present you to your eternity. A mysterious immortal being is sent to the earth with no emotions nor identity. However, it is able to take the shape of those around that have a strong impetus. At first, it is a spear, then it imitates the form of a rock. As the temperature drops and snow falls atop the moss, it inherits the moss. When an injured lone wolf comes slipping by and lays down to die, it takes on the form of the animal. Finally, it gains consciousness and begins to traverse the empty tundra until it meets a boy. The boy lives alone in a ghost town which the adults abandoned long ago in search of the paradise said to exist far beyond the endless sea of white tundra. However, their efforts were for naught. Now the boy is in a critical state. Acquiring the form of the boy, it sets off on a never-ending journey in search of new experiences, places, and people. It, not pun intended, does sound extremely interesting and splendid, and the animation seems really good as well. Being written by the same mangaka as Koe no Katachi, you know it's going to be a deep psychological study of the main characters, so I hope that you guys definitely check it out. Dude, what is up with this supernatural anime having some of the best and most interesting titles this season? Shadow's House. Faceless shadow nobles living in the vast mansion, attended by living dolls who spend much of their time cleaning up the soup endlessly emitted by their mysterious masters. Follow the story of Emeliko, a young and cheerful living doll, as she learns her duties serving as the attendant for Kate Shadow-sama. Okay, after reading that synopsis, I don't know how anyone can not watch it. Do you think this is going to be kind of like the dark horse of the next season like Wonder Priority? And so this anime should definitely be checked out. Higehiro, after being rejected, is shaved and took in a high school runaway. What? Yoshida is an ordinary guy who was rejected hard by the woman he had spent the last 5 years having a crush on. On his way home after getting drunk at a bar, finds a teenage girl crouched on the side of the road. If you let me stay at your place, you can sleep with me. You shouldn't say that even as a joke. Then let me stay over there for free. Before he knows it, the girl, Sayu, has moved in with. This is the story of a runaway teen girl and an ordinary 26-year-old man. This sounds interesting, but I really do hope that doesn't end up having some pedo shit. Say, a 20-year-old office worker is whisked away to a whole new world. Unfortunately for Say, the ritual that summoned her meant to produce a saint who would banish the dark magic brought people over instead of one. And everyone prefers a second girl over Say, but this is just fine by Say, who leaves the royal palace to set up shop making potions and cosmetics with her newfound magic. Business is booming, and this might not be such a bad life. After all, as long as her supposed sainthood doesn't come back to haunt her, and that's because the saint's magic power is omnipotent. That sounds good and interesting. I'll watch it. Moving on, we have what sounds to be a really interesting title, Mars Thread. The story takes place in 1923, and the vampires have existed for quite a while, but now the number of vampires is increasing, and a mysterious artificial blood source called Askra has appeared. The Japanese government in turn creates Code Zero, a unit within the army tasked with taking down the vampiric forces. And what better way to track vampires than by using vampires? Created by Lieutenant General Nakajima, this unit has historically been in the business of information war, but has been reassigned to solve the vampire crisis. A vampire fighting show set in the 1920s. Count me in. Just hoping it's not some usual vampire trope again though. Well, that's about it for all the anime that I think you and I should be watching. Will I be watching all of them? Probably not. Probably some of them are just of 3 episodes, but I'm definitely going to give all of them a try. And again, not to say that the ones I left out here are all bad. Combatants will be dispatched sounds good, about 2 groups of evil gangs battling it out, but again, can't you make it without demons in it? 86 is about a war without any casualties. If you are into war anime, you should definitely give that a try. The synopsis doesn't sound all that interesting to me, so I left it out. Demon Goes House Hunting is about a dragon which goes house hunting, but oh my god, what a twist. Kingdom Hearts fans are going to be delighted as they are making an anime of the spin-off The World Ends With You. The animation gives off major Kingdom Hearts vibes. Vivy, Fluorite's Ice Song is a sci-fi about the war breaking out between humans and AI in 100 years, which is possibly our very own future. Haha. The story takes place in Nearland, a theme park where dreams, hopes, and science exist together as an AI theme park The theme park is where the first automated human-type AI is born. Vivy is an AI who sings on stage for park attendees every day. It is her directive to make everyone happy through song. She performs wholeheartedly for the attendees in the park. One day, an AI named Matsumoto appears before her. He says he has come from 100 years in the future with the directive of working with Vivy to correct history and to stop the war between AI and humans that breaks out 100 years from now. The 100-year journey of the AI songstress Vivy begins. Which Studios is making this, and God, I'm excited for it. They're also making a Kabaddi anime titled Burning Kabaddi, which is about a former ace footballer who dislikes sports. What? That doesn't make sense. Oh, there's also a Godzilla anime which they're probably making because of all the craze surrounding Godzilla currently, as they will probably get a lot of audience. Wonder if King Kong will get a cameo as well. Now finally, so many isekas, like every other season, much more than I can name or care about. Before talking about the upcoming season as a whole, I want to talk about Goodbye Cream. It's a sports anime about a girl playing soccer, and it is written by Naoshi Arakawa. You know, the guy who wrote a somewhat popular manga and even a somewhat popular anime from that manga called Your Lie in April. I've heard lots of good things about this manga, especially how I think that Arakawa has improved from his previous works and is learning to let different characters breathe and develop them both under individual focus, but also in parallel, and we get insights into several side characters while resting some of the main characters in terms of focus, while still managing to develop their story at the same time. So I really am encouraging you guys to please check it out. Like, it's about a sports anime centering around the girl. We don't get a lot of those. Give it a try. And for my fellow Your Lie in April fans, guys, spring really is here. Sorry guys, I had to do it. Anyway, that's about it, and honestly 2021 is like a gift that just keeps on giving. After an insane winter season, we're going to get a stacked spring season with lots of potential, promising looking sequels, amazing romance, intense supernatural stuff, and of course, loads of fucking isekai. Like, Jesus Christ, just stop, man. So, do I think it's going to keep the momentum after winter season gave it a boost? Yes, it certainly has the potential to do so, but I still don't think it's going to be better than the likes of Attack on Titan, JuJutsu Kaisen, ReZero. I'm hopeful when it comes to next season, and I think it will be a pretty good one as well, but I can't say that it won't probably be as good as the current season. God, this video has already been pretty long, so that's all for today guys. Like, subscribe, shares and comments are really appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.